Welcome to the Artist Academy podcast, the audio version of our Facebook Live series, Art Talk Tuesday. I'm your host, Andrea Earhart, and I am so excited that you're here to catch the weekly replay of my laid-back yet very inspiring conversations with other full-time professional artists. The purpose of this series is to show aspiring artists like you that it is completely possible to make a great career out of this art thing. And if you ever want to join us live and have your questions answered in real time by myself or featured guests, then just hop over to facebook.com/groups/Artist Academy every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. I'll see you there. This episode is sponsored by the Artist Academy Advanced Membership, a program for artists who want to up-level their art game by taking it from a hobby or a side hustle to a full-time art business. I've been a professional artist for over 5 years with paintings in several different countries and a client list that includes high-profile companies such as Bass Pro, O'Reilly's, Duck Commander, and many, many more. So I figured out what it takes to build an art business, and now my heart is set on teaching aspiring artists like you to do the same. Go to advancedmember.com, that's advancedmember.com to learn more. Hello, Artist Academy podcast people, aspiring artists, you out there listening to try to better your art career or get a little inspiration or learn some tips or whatever you're listening. I just want to take a second. This is not an interview. This is kind of a bonus episode because we are getting ready to start the fourth quarter strategy starting September 1st. It is now mid-August, and we're getting ready to start the fourth quarter strategy, the fourth quarter success plan, the strategy to win. I don't know what I'm calling it yet, but it starts September 1st, and we are going to kick butt this holiday season. And so I just wanted to get on here and go over a few things that need to happen before the fourth quarter starts. And I think I can break it down into 5 different key elements. So in order to take full advantage of this upcoming fourth quarter, to do it right, to quit playing around. I mean, right now, you can keep playing around. It's midsummer. Enjoy your life. I just now started to enjoy my summer, so that's why I'm saying this. But when it comes time for September 1st, it is my belief that you need to have a few key elements in place in order to move forward and make this the most profitable holiday season yet. These things are fairly simple and really something that every artist should have, even if you're in the very, very, very beginning, or it's something you should be working towards if you're in the very beginning. But I feel like a few of these things also might surprise you a little bit. So take a guess at what you think they should be. Take a guess at what you think the 5 elements should be. Think about what you have right now. You're like, I'm ready. I think I'm ready. Are you? Just kidding. So moving past the obvious must-have art foundation. So you have to be an artist. You must have art. That's not included. That is a given. That's not in the 5 things. The next 5 things are also essential for growth, and it is my tested belief that as long as you have the fundamentals down, the rest is up to you and how hard you want to work. How bad do you want it? Are you willing to put in the extra time to do the things that will eventually lead to a sale? Or do you just want that instant gratification that everybody else wants? And okay, let's be real, that instant gratification thing sounds fantastic. And I will say that once you do the hard things, the things that don't grant immediate profits, eventually you will get to the point where sales do come in almost effortlessly. And I say the word almost effortlessly because nothing's effortless. Like, you still have to put some work in it. But once you have the habits down of doing the small things, they won't seem very hard anymore, and you'll build and build up to the point where your past customers are recommending you to new customers, and all of a sudden, it won't feel like you're begging people to hire you anymore. I remember when I was begging and feeling like I couldn't turn down anyone out of fear that I wasn't going to get another chance to paint ever again if I raised my price too high and they said no. fear if I asked too many questions or asked for too many things like ladders or anything before we started. Fear. Like, I was like, no, I can't ask for anything. I can't put my prices too high. They're going to tell me no, and then my art career is over, and I'll never get another chance to paint anything ever again. No, that's not it. But just getting past that, like, fear mental block is something I have also tried to work on, something I'm just making you aware of. It is out there, and you will get over it. But by putting these fundamental things in place, it just gets easier. That's the point I'm trying to make. Did that make sense? I feel like I'm kind of like here, there, and everywhere. Okay, the point is, it's hard in the beginning, but if you do the things and you keep doing the things, eventually you'll get to a place where it's near effortless. Jobs will flow to you, money will flow to you, and things will just get a bit easier. But you have to have these 5 fundamental things in order for that to happen. So, I just wanted to come on and talk about the foundations for the 4th quarter. In the Artist Academy Advanced membership, my membership group, where I dive in one-on-one in a group setting as well, and we just teach all the different things about how to just succeed in business, succeed in life, how to make money as an artist, just all the things. Inside the advanced membership, we're getting ready to start the 4th quarter success plan starting September 1st, like I mentioned, that walks you through the process I made up last year that led me to making about 80% of my yearly income in the 4th quarter. 80%! How crazy is that? Those efforts also carried into January and February, so past the holidays, past the 4th quarter. I was so busy, I could hardly think. And I'm not suggesting you drive yourself crazy or overwork yourself like I did, because frankly, I had the mentality of like, oh my gosh, I have a lot of work now. Like I went from like busy to I went from like kind of busy here and there, like I had stuff like every other week, maybe, to slammed, to booked out. I could not think, and I was like, okay, I need to work every single day. I cannot tell anybody no, and that went on for several months. It didn't lighten up. Yeah, it didn't lighten up until about March, when I started to get caught up with everything and I could breathe. And I was nearing burnout at that point. So I do not suggest you do that. But what I'm meaning with that whole story is that the efforts that I put into the 4th quarter seriously paid off. And they paid off well after the 4th quarter and so into this year even. Like I have been busier this year than I ever have been. And it's because of the efforts that I put in last year, which I'm going to explain to you. But first, I'm going to explain the 5 fundamentals that you need to have before going into the 4th quarter. Okay, fundamental number 1, I made some notes here. I'm just going to go over, let's see. Fundamental number 1, you need to have a website. You're like, no duh, Andrea. Well, I say you need to have a website, but like, does every one of you have it? Like, do you actually have a website? Kudos to you if you do. It doesn't have to be this amazing thing. And really, nowadays, I use this like Weebly system. That's what it's called. It's literally drag and drop. It's so easy. Also, I use Shopify for my shop. And again, so easy. Like, you do not need a computer hacker genius person to set this up for you. It is so easy nowadays to just put up a website and have everything going, and for everything just to be up there and for sale. It's so easy. So do you have it? Like, do you have a website? That is number 1. And it is number 1 because your customers need somewhere to land other than social media. I get way less engagement on Instagram than I did last year, which just overemphasizes my point to myself to get people on my email list and on my website. We need to focus on getting them off of Instagram and off of Facebook and getting them onto something we own, something that has a domain that is directly correlated to your name or your LLC or your business name or something like that, and get them off of the social media platforms. Sorry, Mark Zuckerberg, but I want to steal everything from you. I want to steal all your customers or borrow them. Thank you for setting everything up for me, but I didn't want to take over from here. Because people on social media, they will like your stuff, but will they buy it? I don't know. People that go to your website are way more likely to buy it than the people who are just browsing on social media. They're just going along and liking photos and liking pretty pictures on this social media app. And those are not super serious customers. However, in order to segment those who just like your photos to those who are even slightly thinking about buying, you need to get them on your website and then get them on your email list. But email list is later. I walk you through the steps on how to create an email list and what to say to them and literally everything with the email list, because that's really, with an email, you're getting, that's just, what's the term for it? It's, you're building a relationship with your customers, I guess is what you could say. You're getting that next level engagement with your email list. So in order to have an email list, you need to have a pop-up on your website. That is foundation number one. I'm not even putting email list in there. Like I said, we go over that in the fourth quarter strategy that's starting September 1st in the advanced group only. We go through the whole email list thing. I know it's super scary to a lot of people. People are like, what do I even say to these people? Don't worry, I go over the whole thing. But for now, you need an you need a website. Blah. Oh my gosh, it's like midday Tuesday. I've been painting all morning and my head is just blah. Anyway. So you need a website, not an email list, a website. you need an email list later. Anyway, okay. Oh man, it's a day. Okay, so you need a website. That is number one. You need some place for your customers to go and land on something that you own, and you do own it. You pay for your domain name. So mine, I have artbyandreae.com, andreaearhart.com, paintitredllc.com, because that's my LLC. I own all of those. It's $12 a year. In order to go, if you do not have a website, I'm not the one to really walk you through this. There are plenty of tutorials on Google, but type in Google Domains, and you'll go and you'll click on the first thing, Google Domains. I own 10 domains between Artist Academy and my art website. I own 10 domains, and it's fine. But it's $12 a year. It's nothing. Go to Google Domains, and you can literally search andreaearhart.com or yourname.com or yourname.co, yourname.net, and see what's available. And just buy it. And set up your website through there. Also, I would say, if you have, if Art by Andrea was available, I would buy that one too. Just because you want to own everything with your name in it. So, buy a domain. Doesn't cost very much. Set something up. Set a website up. Everybody always asks this. Okay, what are my recommendations for starting a website? Shopify is what my shop is on. My main website is not on Shopify because Shopify is a shopping website. It does not really host something that needs a gallery. What's the best way to explain this? I'm telling you, it's a day here. If I want to display my artwork in a bunch of different photos like all artists do, you want to have a gallery, Shopify is not the best for that I've figured out so far. So I have my website on HostGator, which I wouldn't really recommend. I have it on there because I've had it on there forever, and that's all I knew of way back then. I would not really recommend HostGator. It's okay. I would recommend, although I have not tried them, but everybody else is on them, Squarespace or WordPress. Both of those, have plugins to where you can have your website, display gallery, and your shop on the same one. So Squarespace, you can get a plugin to where you can get an e-commerce plugin to where you can have people buy off of your Squarespace website. Also, what was the WordPress? Oh yeah, WordPress. That's mostly for bloggers. WordPress, right? I've heard great things about that too. You can also have a plugin that allows people to buy directly off your WordPress site. So that's great. So right now I have it on HostGator and Shopify. That's what I have mine on. Shopify is amazing. When it comes to print sales, that's the only one I can really truly speak of. But just look into all of them. If I could go back and do it again, I would probably set something up on Squarespace, to be completely honest. I've seen a couple Squarespace sites. If you go to, there's one, sophietart.com or sophiet.com. I'm pretty sure it's sophietart.com. She's an artist in London. She has a great Squarespace website, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I love it. There's so much white, and there's so much white space, and it's a great checkout system, and I'm like, oh man, that's what I want. Why didn't I do that? I guess I could change it. I don't know. But so everything's already set up. Don't fix something that isn't broken. Moving on. Okay, those are my recommendations. Starting website, which is foundation number 1. Have a website and have photos of your work on your website. I was just talking to one of the advanced members, not going to call her out, but she was like, yeah, I set up my website and I didn't put any photos on it. And my husband had to tell me, hey, don't you want photos of your art on my website? And she's like, oh, yeah, but she was just too far in it. She didn't know. So have a website, have photos of your art on your website. You don't necessarily need to have like a shop up quite yet. You just need to have a website. Like we can make a shop later on. But yeah, have a website for someone to contact you. Plus, another thing before we move on from this website thing, the majority of people who hire me contact me through my website. So they find me on social media. Usually, they will go to my website, to the contact me page, and contact me through there. Why? I don't know. Maybe because Instagram's not as informal. I even have like an email me thing on my Instagram. Like you can literally email me from touching a button on my Instagram, and people hardly ever do that as well. So you can go. So people find me on Instagram or Facebook, but they hire me through my email through my website. So have a website. You just look professional. It's not hard. Just do that. Okay. Moving on. Pillar number 2, promotional material. So, what I mean by promotional material, I'm not meaning like t-shirt with your faces on them. That's not it. I'm meaning photos. So the most important thing is your artwork, right? That's what we're selling. That's what represents us. Like, that is the most important thing. The second most important thing is how you display it. So how you promote it, how you take photos of it. I've invited artists on the podcast before who aren't as far along in their art career, but you never know it by looking at their Instagram because their photos are so good. Their white space, everything, like their grid looks amazing. They've got it figured out. And photos are the thing that make you look way more professional than you actually are. I am actually getting ready to go through and take a bunch of photos before we start our highly productive September month. I'm going to devote a half a day just to taking photos of me with my art. That's another thing. Get in your photos. Like, I know it's so easy to oh man, my head is in the clouds today. I just keep like on wondering. Okay, back at it. I know it's so easy to hide behind your art. Yeah, that's the thing I was wanting. I know it's so easy to hide behind your art and just post a photo of your art, which you do need really good photos of your art, but get in your photos. Get in your photos. I'm going to devote probably 2 hours worth of me in my studio, aka spare bedroom, with my iPhone and my tripod, just hanging out, the 3 of us, taking photos of my art to share for the entire 4th quarter. I'll even take photos for paintings I haven't created yet. Let that sink in. You might be asking, what? How? It's easy. So this is kind of funny, and I'll have everything up on my YouTube channel, exactly how I do this, but I will pose in front of a blank canvas, so a standard 36 by 48 canvas, because that's what I typically use, and I'll pose in front of that, and I'll set my tripod up and take photos with this blank canvas, and save the photos for when I do paint on the canvas, and just Photoshop them in. And when I say Photoshop, I'm not actually meaning the complicated system that is Photoshop. I don't actually use that system. I use Rivet.com. This is not sponsored by Rivet.com. You know, like the sound, the frog mix, Rivet.com. I don't know why I landed on that forever ago. I think I just was Googling editing systems, and found Ribbit.com, and it's just a very basic photo editor, and I am able to take a photo like that with a blank canvas. And I actually have a tutorial like this on my YouTube right now. You can go check it out. It's youtube.com/c/Andrea Earhart, if you could spell my last name right, or just type in Andrea Earhart on YouTube and you'll find my channel. But I'll take a photo with me next to a blank canvas, and then whenever I whenever I actually paint something later, so I'll paint this like big tiger photo, big tiger painting, and I'll take a good photo of that alone, and then I will literally just like Photoshop, I'm doing like air quotes, Photoshop or Ribbit shop, whatever, it into the photo of the blank canvas. And so you can call it cheating, you can call it whatever you want, but nobody knows. And I know for a fact some other people, some really famous, really good, seasoned artists do this. I know this because I've caught them, and I'm not calling them out, and I'm just like, oh, it's not just me. Because I remember seeing, there's this one artist, cannot remember his name, but he's a little older and he does really amazing wildlife art. No wonder I follow him, right? And I saw this photo of him and I was like, oh wow, that's such a good photo. It was him posing with a big tiger photo. And I was like, so I went to his Instagram feed and I was looking on his grid and I saw the exact same photo like 20 photos down on his grid, but with a different picture. Or with a different painting. He was in the exact same pose, but there was a different painting. And I saved them both, looked at them, like I saved them both on my camera and looked at them side by side. It was the exact same photo. You cannot recreate a photo like that exactly like he did with two different paintings. It's impossible. So what happened with that, I know it, he took a photo with a painting, and then he superimposed, or a blank canvas, I don't know, but then he photoshopped another photo or another painting in that photo. So he could use it again. He didn't have to go take another photo with a new painting. He just took a new painting, photoshopped it into an old photo. Are you following me here? And he used that for promotional material. How genius. 99.9% of people will never notice that. I'm just crazy, and I do the same thing. That's why I noticed it. So if you go to my feed, you'll never know like what photos are photoshopped into my painting or into my photos. What paintings are photoshopped into my photos or not? You'll never know. It's so easy to do, and it's not completely flawless either. But people just don't take the time to look. They have no idea. So it saves me a ton of time. I don't have to worry about taking a brand new photo with things that I paint. I can just take photos, get it done, and then Photoshop my paintings into them later. It saves time. It's called batching. Have you heard of batching? If not, you should check it out. Batching is basically just like you take a day, like I will take a day and record a couple podcast episodes in one day, edit them, or my amazing VA, Adriana, will edit them. Hey, Adriana. And she will upload them into the podcast, and they'll be delivered out to a couple weeks. So like I'll record one now and it'll be blah, 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 blah. I'll record a couple today and then they'll be delivered in the next couple weeks every Thursday. Anyway, that's batching. That's another example of batching. I feel like I'm just telling you all my secrets. Like, I'm just, like, going behind. This is, like, for real behind the scenes of, like, Andrea Earhart art studio. That's actually my spare bedroom. Like, my art studio is my spare bedroom. It's currently carpet, so I have a canvas down. Anyway, that's a little more than you need to know. But batching. And batching your photos is a really good thing for you to have. If you have not done this yet, I would say do it. Pick a day, pick a weekend day, get your husband or your boyfriend or your best friend or a tripod. A tripod is amazing. And go look at the photos that I take and copy me. I don't care. Like, just copy me and do the same ones, but be in your photos. Like, though, that That you will get double engagement if you are in your photo. I don't care if you don't think you look super cute all the time. None of us do. I'm just telling you, which is why I look super cute one day. And I take all my photos one day, and the other days I like hair. My hair is currently in a messy bun right now, and I have paint all over me, and it's just not a super cute day. Which sometimes I'll post photos like that. But when I'm batching, I'll like get all cuted up and I'll probably have 20 photos or more that I will save in different parts of my studio and different canvas sizes, different outfits. I'll even like change shirts just so it doesn't look like it. I know, I'm telling you guys, this is like, I remember someone told me this. I remember some like promo model girl told me that she would do this way back in the day, and I like laughed at her a little bit. I feel so bad. But I was like, why would you put that much effort into Instagram? But now I'm doing it, and because I see what photos can do. A good and a bad photo can literally mean the difference in hundreds to thousands of people seeing your art or not. You taking a good photo with your art, and if you want to know how to take a really good photo, go to my YouTube channel or go to my Instagram. I'm sure I posted about it recently. I'm about to do it right now in the next couple days. And then this podcast episode will air after I do it. So the YouTube video will have been up already. I know it's kind of confusing and probably shouldn't tell you guys this. I should probably just be like, it's out now. Go check it out. But I kind of just run my mouth and be a little more open than I maybe should. Anyway, back to it. Okay, I feel like I'm rambling. Take photos with your art. Please be in your photos. You look super cute. You look super cute today. I can't even tell what you look like, but I promise you look super cute today. But get in your photos, plan it out, edit them. I will show you how to edit them in that YouTube video. I'll show you how to do it all, just behind the scenes. That way you guys can know when I'm posting 2 months from now. I'll be like, I know she did not paint that at that time, and that is her outfit from 2 months ago that she is posting, but everybody's liking it. And I'm going to copy it, and I'm going to do it too. Do it. That's the mentality I want you to have. I want you to see that it's working, and I want you to see how much time I've saved and how prepared I am for the fourth quarter, so that when it comes to fourth quarter time, we can work on marketing, email strategy, painting, and all of that stuff. And we do not have to worry about the small stuff like taking photos, getting our website up, all of that. Okay. Also, whenever one last thing, and then I'll go. And then I'll move on to the next one. Is you want to make a scroll stopper. Dionne Woods, she was in a past podcast episode, Staying True to Your Niche with Dionne Woods. She's a furniture painter, and she takes these amazing photos with furniture art, like very specific niche and beautiful pieces, and she has to mix it up every time. You can't just be standing next to your photo or standing next to the furniture every time. She really mixes it up. One time she was like reading on a couch next to it, next to her painting. One time she had like this really big hat in it, and like just mixed it up. It's like different outfits. So I'm actually going to so they call it Do the Dionne in her group. I'm actually in her group as well. And yeah, do the Dionne and make a photo that is a scroll stopper. Don't just take a photo with it. Like, do that. Do a couple with those, and then be like, okay, how can I step out of the norm and make a really good photo? Like, a different angle, maybe angle it from above, below, to the side, put a couch in there, jump up, maybe you're jumping in the photo and you get an action shot and you're laughing and it's just amazing because you're so excited that you painted this photo. Like, make a scroll stopper, like Dionne says. Make a scroll stopper so that way you're just getting more attention, and whoever gets the most attention sells the most art. If you haven't heard me say that yet, now you have. Okay. And now, moving on. Number 3. Okay, so just to recap. First is you must have a website. 2, you must have photos of your art. And okay, one more thing on that. You can reuse photos. Like if you posted something a year ago and it got really good attention and you're selling prints of it, or even if you just want to tell a story about it, you could post it again. Post it again and post it again. If it's been 6 months, or 6 months is kind of like I can post it again if I have posted it 6 months ago, because people forget. A lot of people haven't seen it. Maybe they were busy that day. You probably have a lot more followers than you did 6 months ago, or a year ago. Post it again. Like, use some of your old stuff. So I don't want you over there being like, I don't have any photos. I don't have any amazing photos. Oh my gosh, I need to get on that. You do have photos. You just need more photos. But you have some to start out with. And it's never too late to just schedule a day and take a bunch of photos with your art. Anyway, okay, for real, moving on this time. I know I bounced around a little bit, but just keep with me. Number 3 on my notes here is you have to have a pricing structure. You have to know, so you have your art, right? And so the second is you have to know your art's worth. And I'm not saying it has to be a crazy, crazy amount. And I'm not going to spend very much time on this because I did record a whole podcast episode over pricing. If you go back maybe like 5 to 10 episodes, you will be able to listen to it. And it's all about pricing. It's how to price your art, how to decide like what you're figuring into the price, materials, travel, all that stuff. But you need to have your pricing structure set in stone before the fourth quarter. Or at least have like a really, really good idea. You can make a pricing sheet if you want. I don't recommend, well, it's up to you. I was about to say, I don't recommend putting that on your website because then people will price shop you. However, I don't know, just being upfront is okay too, so I don't know. Just have a pricing structure of some sort. Know your art's worth and know that you're going to raise it later, and it's okay whatever it's at right now. If your art is selling for whatever you have it priced at, then maybe you can up it now or later. I don't know. That's just kind of the general rule of thumb. But have a good pricing system. If you need help with that, go listen to the other podcast episode, or you can download my art pricing guide at artpricingguide.com. I got super creative with it, guys. artpricingguide.com. And yeah, you go there and you can download it's like a 5-page pricing guideline sheet, and it basically just breaks it down into the system that I use every time I want to price something. And a lot of the times it's by time, but sometimes it's by square foot or square inch. That whole thing, it breaks it down. It's so simple. artpricingguide.com. Download it. It's a free thing. It does not cost you anything. You will get put on my email list if you're not on it already, which will also give you like my art supply list. It will give you tips and tricks and my personal suggestions on how to make it as an artist and just all that. But first, you have to go download the art pricing guide at artpricingguide.com. I remember I used to end every conversation with a client with, but I'll fit anything into your budget. That's what I say. I will fit anything into your budget. Meaning, I would work for next to nothing if they asked me to, because I didn't have anything else going on, so please don't say no. Now, I still say that sometimes, but in a different context. So I'll say, I'll fit anything within your budget, or I will recommend you to someone who I think might be a better fit, is what I say. So that's just really to get their budget out of them. If they say it's $1,000, if they say it's $100, if they say it's $10,000, I just want to know. And so sometimes I'll just say like, hey, I'll fit anything into your budget, or we'll figure it out. Let me know. But back then, when I said, I'll fit anything into your budget, which is like, please hire me. I don't know my worth, blah, blah, blah. But nowadays, my mental space has switched quite a bit, and using this pricing guide, I have just a better visual, a better breakdown of what my price is, and I can show them, hey, this is what I charge for this, no big deal, $15 per square foot is a good starter point. I know that. I can so since I worked it down and wrote it down and everything, I can literally just spit out like, oh yeah, that's going to cost that, because I've done it so much and because I have it written down. And I'm not it's okay for me now to be like, if it isn't profitable, I'm not doing it unless it's for charity, or one that I strongly believe in, like Big Brothers Big Sisters. I volunteer for them, or a similar circumstance. If it's not very profitable, or I don't see just it taking me somewhere else, I'm not going to do it. I'm not scared about it anymore. So, but that just came from, working as a working artist for so long and having a good pricing system set in stone, of which I will share with you at artpricingguide.com. You can download your very own pricing guide, and you can be at this level at sooner rather than later. Okay, so just to recap, the first one is build your website. Have a website. Have somewhere for people to land that's off of social media that you can call your own, that you own. Number 2, promotional material. Photos. Photos are so important. Have some photos or schedule some time, maybe before the fourth quarter, to take a bunch of photos of your art. To just sit down, not sit down. Well, I guess you could sit next to your paintings. Actually, that's a really good idea. Sit next to your paintings, stand next to your paintings, hold them to the side, hold them above your head, like anything. Just take photos of you with your art, and your art alone, I guess. But just have photos of your art. Can you see how passionate I am about that? Okay, number 3 is you have to have a pricing structure. Artpricingguide.com will walk you through that. Super easy. Go download it. You're going to be prepared. You're going to have a website. You're going to have photos. And you're going to know exactly how to price your art. Number 4. I bet you're not going to guess this. I bet if I was like, guess what it is, and you rambled off 10 things, you would not guess what this is. And this is also something that I feel super passionate about. This is actually the topic that we covered my first ever live when I opened the Artist Academy Advanced membership. This is the first one I ever did. Guess what it is? I wish I could be there with you guessing right now, and you're probably just like, just tell me, Andrea, I really don't have time for this. It is, you have to know who your ideal customer is. And that sounds pretty loaded, right? Did anybody expect that? Don't worry, for everyone not sure exactly what it is, you can dive literally right into the first video I ever did inside the Artist Academy membership. That's if you're in the Artist Academy membership, and I have a whole live that goes over exactly how to identify your ideal customer, and a whole worksheet over it, and questions to ask yourself, like you're going to create an ideal customer avatar. I guess we could start there. You're going to create a person, one person who is your ideal customer. Who is it? Name him or her. Dress her or him. Does he or she have a family? Does he or she work for himself? I say him because my ideal customer, art customer, is a dude. More likely than not. My ideal customer is a dude with money who owns his own business. Because I usually paint for businesses, so I'll do logos, I'll do all this other stuff, and then they will buy prints or originals for their families. So it's like a double whammy there for me. That ideal customer is the person who I have found the most success with so far. That's how I know. If I think about my past projects of like, okay, this is something you could do, actually. I'm kind of just going off the whim here. But this is something you could do. And this is how I found my ideal customer. Think about a transaction that you've had recently or ever that went exactly as you wanted it to. I mean, things like the person ordered something that was right up your alley, or something that you really enjoyed doing and they loved getting it, and there was prompt payment and there was good communication and everything just went well. And think about that. Were you well paid for it? Is that why it went well? Was it a subject you loved doing? Is that why it went well? Like, think of that person and then try to think of another one. And then try to think of another one and see if they have something in common. And mine is usually rich men, to be honest. The rich men that I work for, they own businesses and they have a family, almost always, and they don't argue with me on price. They want high quality, of which I bring, and they want it done well, they want it done on time, and they want the fundamentals done, and they want it done to their specifications, which I am good at, and they pay promptly. And so those, trust me, there are several other amazing clients that I have that, everything has gone over very swimmingly and everything, but my ideal customer is a rich dude who owns a business who buys art for his wife also. So usually people will they will commission me to do something for their business, and then they'll also commission me to do something for their wife or their kids or something. And so it's just a double whammy for me. That's my ideal customer. I literally know what he looks like. I know I've made him up in my head. I have named him. I have dressed him. I know everything, and I know where to find him. So you need to do that for yourself as well. And what that does is it keeps you from just shouting out to literally everyone on social media. It keeps you from aiming at places where you might fall short, and it keeps you just in line with your goal. And because if you know your ideal customer, you know where they hang out, you know what they like, you know where you can position yourself to be seen by them. And so that takes away a whole lot of headache into what should I do? Should I do this? Should I go to this place? Should I do this? And is my ideal customer there? Is my ideal customer hanging out there? Do they know people there? Basically, how can I get the attention of my ideal customer? And that's really a baseline of what we're going to focus on in the fourth quarter strategy is selling to your ideal customer. And don't worry, if you are in the Artist Academy Advanced and you just applied and you just got accepted, just go into your Artist Academy site that holds all of the tutorials and all of the templates and all the things you need to be a working artist. And there's one in there, the very first one, that talks about your ideal customer. And you're going to build your ideal customer avatar in there. It takes less than an hour and you'll be good to go. That's it. And then you can focus better on our fourth quarter strategy when you know who you're selling to. If you are not in the advanced membership yet, don't worry. You can do this on your own. If you need some guidance, if you need a little bit of help with it, and you want to apply for the advanced membership a little early before September 1st, just go to advancedmember.com and you'll see this whole info thing and you'll see a place where you can apply, and I will be going over applications shortly, and you can go and you can dive in to the ideal customer avatar exercise and you can build your ideal customer. So if you're thinking about joining our fourth quarter strategy and our fourth quarter success plan, whatever I'm calling it, I would say get in maybe a week early and just to do the nitty gritty in that and just know who your ideal customer is. Maybe go through some other tutorials about building your Instagram. There's one on Instagram in there as well. And so you can start implementing just kind of the basics before we dive into the heavy duty marketing, selling, planning, all of that stuff. Okay. So, recapping again, I don't know why I like to recap just to get my thoughts right. You might already know what they are. I'm just going to go over it again. So, number 1, you have a website. Number 2, promotional material, photos. Number 3, a pricing structure. You're going to know what your art is worth. Number 4 is know your ideal customer. Now, number 5. Okay. You guys have heard me say this over and over and over again. By just saying that, you might already know what it is if you listen to a lot of podcasts, but you need to treat your art business like a what? Sorry, I'm laughing at myself because I'm so motivational speaker when I say this, I feel but it's so true. You need, number 5, to treat your art business like a business. This is a mental state, I know, but so much of being an artist is so mental. It really is. It's just a mental game, and I included the tangible tips, like the things you have to write down, like the pricing guide, the things you have to do, like take photos and make a website. But I couldn't help but just add this last one in here for number 5, as you need to treat your art business like a business. That is, you need to focus on revenue and profits and marketing and advertising and structuring your time accordingly. Because, and I know that doesn't sound like so much fun. I know. It sounds like fun to me, which is why I started the Artist Academy, because seriously, talking about business and marketing and just figuring out what makes people buy from me, seriously, just it makes my day. And so so I put it on my shoulders. It's up to me to figure out all of that stuff for you and just show you what I've learned and show you how to do it and give you the pathway, so that you can treat your art business like a business. And so just so you know how to do it, because it's hard. It's hard to figure it out. And I've made so many mistakes, and I will continue to make mistakes, and just go back to you guys and be like, this is the mistake I made. This is how you can learn from it, and how I'm going to learn from it, and how I'm going to do better, and how I'm going to sell more art and get more attention to sell more art. Because that's what it comes down to. The people who have the most attention and the more products to sell the most art. The more things that you can get in front of the most people, the more things you will sell. Yeah, that sounded super professional, but you guys get what I'm putting down. Treat your art business like a business is the mental state that you have to have before going into this fourth quarter. Because really, like, I mean, have you ever really heard of anybody calling it the fourth quarter before? I think once, and just setting it apart like that too kind of helped me be like, oh, the fourth quarter in business, the fourth quarter in art business, aka the holidays. Because I think a lot of people call it the holidays, and you're like, okay, Christmas, I have to sell at Christmas time, or oh, Black Friday, I'll do a Black Friday deal. There's so much more than that. And I've actually found that if you can sell before Black Friday, that is the best thing. And I will walk through every step of the way with you. And yeah, so, because last year I sold on Black Friday, and it was okay. And like, I did like a 1-day deal on Black Friday, and I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do it like every other business in town. Like, yeah, like this is the thing to do, right? What happened was, I was treating my art business like a business, but I was just lumping my business in with every other business and competing with every other business's email blast, every other discount for that day, everything. Even though people's minds were buy, they were buying other things too, people who were discounting more. That's just why people go wait in line for hours at stores, because they're getting good deals. Like, I can't top those deals. People are not going to wait in line at my studio, aka my house, because my studio's in my third bedroom. I don't know that I want people standing in line at my house waiting for the clock to strike midnight on Black Friday. Anyway, I ran a Black Friday deal, and it just didn't go as well. And I really, really think that's because I was competing with everyone else having a deal on that day. So I have figured out the best times to do it, I think. And I'm not going to be trying out new things this year as well, reporting back to you. But in the fourth quarter strategy, I'll tell you exactly when to sell, how to sell, and how the lingo works as well. People don't like to be pushed, but they like to be nudged. You know what I mean? Like, they don't like to be like, buy now, buy. But they like to be like, hey, you could be the first to buy this. You could be the first to own this first edition. You could just, I don't know. All that stuff. Okay. Yeah, treat your art business like a business. It's a big thing. If you're treating it like a hobby now, and it's staying a hobby, that's why. It's because you're not treating it like a business. You're not putting in the overtime. You're not doing all that. You're treating it like a hobby. You're painting when you want to. You're painting when it's comfortable. You're doing the things only you really want to do. And it's staying a hobby because you're treating it like a hobby. I want to show you how to treat your art business like a business through the trial and error that I have done in my past business and what's worked for me, and I'm going to show you so it can work for you too. It's literally trial, tested, all of that, and I'm just barfing my knowledge onto you. You're welcome. Okay. Sorry, my humor is a little off today. I've been painting in the sun most of the day and just came in. Okay. So yeah, treating your art business like a business. If you would like to apply for the advanced membership and go through the fourth quarter strategy right alongside with me, we're going to be setting up an email system, collecting emails. We're going to be writing out every single email that you'll ever have to send in the fourth quarter so that when it comes time for the fourth quarter, you'll be ready. I'll show you my email templates. I'll show you my invoices, my proposals. Literally everything is, like I said, barfed onto you or given to you, whatever. And yeah, oh my gosh, people. I'm trying to be like, join my fourth quarter strategy. It's going to be amazing. It's going to be a lot of barfing. Like, oh my gosh. This is probably not the best day to record a podcast. I feel kind of loopy. Anyway, okay, I promise I might be more professional maybe in the Artist Academy. Maybe, I don't know. I really just like to keep it real with you guys, and this is what I'm thinking. So this is what I'm saying. Treating it like a business doesn't have to be boring. I try not to make it to be. I love it, and if I love it, hopefully that comes out and comes onto you, and you'll learn to love treating your art business like a business once you see things start to happen. Okay. All right. Go to advancedmember.com to apply. You have till September 1st. I'm not letting anybody else in after September 1st because I want to give you my full attention, complete undivided attention, to show the members exactly what I'm doing, and not only the members, but my focus has to be on my own selling as well, my customers. So right now on my Instagram posts and everything, my audience is you guys, aspiring artists, and I'm talking to you and I'm showing you tips and I'm doing all the things, and so that's attracting more artists. I need to switch my social media strategy to customers in order to take advantage of the fourth quarter. That's honestly like why I'm shutting down the Artist Academy applications September 1st, because I cannot focus on getting new people in anymore. I need to focus on my customers and my current students. That's where my focus is going to be, and you will be right alongside me while we make some money this fourth quarter. Okay. All right, I think that's about it. Advancedmember.com if you want to check it out. I'm going to hop off of here. We have Art Talk Tuesday here in a bit. Or I have it today. I guess I probably shouldn't say that. Because you guys are listening to it on Thursday. I know it because I'm going to air this on this upcoming Thursday. So, yeah. Okay, I'll see you guys inside the advanced membership group. Bye. This episode is sponsored by the Artist Academy Advanced Membership, a program for artists who want to up-level their art game by taking it from a hobby or a side hustle to a full-time art business. I've been a professional artist for over 5 years, with paintings in several different countries and a client list that includes high-profile companies such as Bass Pro, O'Reilly's, Duck Commander, and many, many more. So I figured out what it takes to build an art business, and now my heart is set on teaching aspiring artists like you to do the same. Go to advancedmember.com, that's advancedmember.com to learn more. Don't forget to subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. Also, if you ever want to join us live and have your questions answered in real time by myself or featured guests, then just hop on over to facebook.com/groups/Artist Academy every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I'll see you next week.